guys, it's Jasma, and today we're making a cheesy bite turkey and pineapple pizza. Now if you don't know what a cheesy bite is, it is basically where there's cheese inside of the crust and it is turned 90 degrees, which makes the pizza look really pretty. Today we're making a pineapple and turkey pizza because I love pineapple inside of my pizza, and we're using some fresh ground turkey to make it a little special. So let's get started. For the ingredients, you will need a 14-inch pizza dough, a third cup of pizza sauce, 4 cups of shredded mozzarella cheese, 200 grams of pineapple slices, 9 packages of string cheese, 200 grams of ground turkey, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, half a teaspoon of salt, and half a teaspoon of pepper. First, we're going to cook the ground turkey. So today I have some fresh ground turkey because again my family likes using fresh ingredients, and we're just going to saute this until it is completely cooked. And if you want to, you could also use turkey ham for this, and if you are using that, you do not need to saute it. A problem that usually happens when it comes to cooking ground meat is that they all clump up into lumps and it's impossible to work with. So a tip I have for you is to let the pan be nice and hot, pour in the cold oil, and add in the ground meat at the exact same time. Keep stirring it around, and this way there won't be lumps. So now we're just going to cook the fresh ground turkey using this technique. Turn the heat to high and let the pan get nice and hot. Pour in the cold oil, and at the exact same time add in the ground meat and start moving it around. Once the turkey is cooked, we're going to add in the salt and the pepper. And just stir that around. And make sure you want the turkey to dry out a little because you don't want it to be really moist. Once the turkey is sauteed, I'm just going to set it aside for it to cool down while we assemble the actual pizza. Once all the ingredients are ready, we can start to construct the pizza. So I have a 14-inch pizza crust here that I've already made. If you want to learn how to make this at home yourself, I have a video on how to do that on my channel, so go check that out. In that video, I will be showing you how to make the dough and stretch it by hand. And since this is a cheesy bite pizza, I have made the crust a little bigger from what I actually need. So you can see I made about 1 centimeter longer from what I actually need of the pizza crust, so I could wrap the cheese strings with the crust. So we're going to take the cheese strings, and remember eating these when you were a toddler, and we're going to place it on the outer edge of the pizza crust. Place it right on the edge. I like to press it down just a little to hold it in shape. And then just let it go. I used 8½ cheese strings to go all around the edge of the pizza crust. So now we are ready to take the crust and fold it right over the cheese string. You want to go nice and tight. You don't want a huge pocket in the crust later on. And we're just going to press it down. And it doesn't matter if it doesn't look good over here, we're going to cover it with topping and sauce anyways. I'm pressing down the dough nice and tight so the cheese doesn't leak out while it's baking. Now we're going to grab a knife and cut each cheese string into thirds. Now you could just eyeball it, you don't need to measure or anything, and you could also use kitchen scissors to do this. So I'm just going to feel out the cheese string and then cut it into thirds. Make sure you cut the crust through because we're going to be flipping this later on. flip each piece of the cheese string wrapped with the crust. We're going to turn it 90 degrees so it's facing inwards. And then we're just going to do the same thing to all of the pieces. Now we're going to poke some holes onto the bottom of the pizza crust for it to release the steam while it's cooking, and it's going to be really nice and soft. Just because I like poking things. Done. Now we're going to spread on the sauce. So this is homemade pizza sauce, and if you want to learn how to make this, I also have a video on my channel to make homemade pizza sauce, so go check that out. And I'm just going to use a big spoon to spread it all over the pizza. So do not put too much pizza sauce on top because then it would make the crust all soggy and you won't like that. Now we're going to sprinkle on some grated cheese. So I would always grate my own cheese. It makes it a lot tastier and it also keeps a lot of its flavor. And I'm using mozzarella cheese here today. I'm going to sprinkle on a good amount of it. Now I'm using mozzarella cheese today, but you could use whatever type of cheese you like. And this has already cooled down, because if it's still really hot, it's going to melt all the cheese. Now we're going to sprinkle on the pineapple slices. So make sure you soak up all of the extra moisture, because it's going to release a lot of its juices inside of the oven, and it's going to make it all soggy, and you don't want that. So you want to lay this pretty close to each other since it will shrink up in the oven. And you want a good amount of pineapples on a pizza. And now finally we're going to sprinkle on the rest of the mozzarella cheese. Now we're going to place this into the oven preheated at 450 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 minutes or until it's nice and golden brown on top. And if you want to, you could also brush a little butter before you bake this, but we're just going to skip that step today. This pizza has been in the oven at 450 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 minutes. You can see it's nice and golden brown on top, the cheese has melted, and everything just smells delicious. So let's cut into it. The pizza tastes really good. It's pretty much just like the ones they sell in restaurants, or maybe even better. It is really cheesy. The pineapple has a really good taste, but again, remember that there's not a lot of juices inside of it. The turkey has a really good flavor inside of the pizza, and of course the cheesy bites are really cheesy. So I hope you can try this out. Thanks for watching, and see you guys next time. Bye. Now we're going to place this into the oven at 450 degrees. I like seeing